Start screaming.
Yeah, I went to
And
Fort
there we
Myers
are.
main monitor,
Yeah.
and OBS did not like that.
Ah, I see. Hey, welcome to YouTube. YouTubers, welcome to Bullish Bears. We are the trading community. We have a lot of great stuff and we got great members. We got the best members ever. And we're watching the SPY. We're watching the MES over here. I've got Tesla over here just because we want to watch my money go away. Just kidding. Thank God it ain't that
It's
huge.
so
Mm.
awesome to watch our members like turn into really really good price action traders. And it doesn't take all that long considering what you're up against as far as learning it on your own,
Thanks, Tris.
going out there and trying to piece everything together yourself. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Well, it's trading's not easy, and I've had to resolve myself to the fact that it's not. But it's also the most difficult thing to find information on.
Yeah.
I mean, to get accurate information. I taught myself how to video edit. I taught myself how to use After Effects when it first came out by YouTube videos. They don't have those for trading. Not like that. They don't. So we're going to give you some stuff, but then we want you to come hang out with us in Discord, and we're going to really give you the stuff. We have multiple strategies.
Is there a way to say what Trace just shared in Discord?
Is there a way to do what?
Save it.
If you click on more, you can create a message link. You could also screenshot it and put it in your Discord if you have one.
That's good stuff.
That is really good stuff. Thank you, Trace. That is freaking awesome.
Guys, can I just run a quick strategy by you really quickly?
Go for it.
Right, okay, so CMMB, which is the penny stock I'm looking at today, if it breaks this, if it breaks this level now at 433, I've got it at, then there's a potential 50% reversal, am I right in thinking? I've got the 8 over the 20 as well, so it's looking bearish. So should I just see if it can break through this 431 level and then maybe buy into, I'm not asking for advice as always, but yeah, maybe a point to buy in and a predicted 50% reversal of the overall day high, or is that being a bit optimistic?
That's a good question.
Again, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just not.
Well, right now it looks like just if you see, can you see my screen?
Yes. So
Looks like a pullback is what it looks like right now. Looks like a pullback and a bear trend. So I would be careful here. Um, we're at this pivot, which is also at this in between these two candles are, and there's a gap there. So it would have to really get through that. You want to see it get through that if it's going to continue with a really strong green candle.
yeah. So that 431 level is where I've got a pivot point at.
Right.
It needs to break through a range, so starting at 431 up until about 438 or something.
Well, it would have to break this level right here. And it would have to do that with a lot of strength. So you don't want to see it just break through it. You want to see it with a big green candle. You want to see it break through it strongly and probably come back and retest. But this 1, 2, 3, this bull channel right here already has 3 touches. See those 3 touches that I was talking about earlier? 1, 2, 3. So we're looking for it, and then we get this weak ass doji right here. We get this red candle here, and look, we're coming back down. That's a strong bear candle pushing away from that area we were looking at earlier, moving really fast. When they move strong and fast away from a pivot, that's not a good bull sign. Not in this trend right here.
So we haven't reached the bottom effectively.
No, Yeah. All right.
Which one is second
No,
as well.
no, wait. Let me show you one more thing, because this is important. This is your gap. See the gap, the red gap. That's my point. Last chance for romance that we call. See, it's rolling over here. If it gets into that level and breaks through, just take it off your grid. It'll just fade all day.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Is the way. And I kind of have a similar setup. There's a key pivot right at 401 there.
And-
Smokes that. Bye bye.
And also another thing, technically speaking, to everybody on YouTube, you can't hear the voices in my head. I can't take the voices in my head.
Background voice is a problem.
I've got to figure that out this week so we can have some conversation going on, so everybody doesn't think I'm just talking to myself and just going, "Wait, what? Huh?"
Forget about that sometimes, and I'll just start talking anyway.
Hey,
Like-
Jeremy, are we not allowed to do stop losses on credit spreads and debit spreads in Webull?
I don't think it'll let you.
That's lame.
That's why. That's why
Yeah.
it is. It sucks.
Yeah.
That's how they get your money.
Kinda Put them as a mental thing is all you can do, really.
I just wanted to be able to set something and be like, yeah, I'm happy with the profit I made. If we go down, then lock it in. If we go up, then let's let it off. I can't do that.
You can set limiters, good to a cancel limiter. So, like, if you wanted to take a certain percentage of profit, just kind of do the math real quick and set up a limiter.
Hmm.
Maybe I should be aiming for 20% because we're really just sort of doing a retracement, and then who knows where we're going. But if we actually do like a 50% of that big control candle earlier today, I should be holding on for quite a while. But I don't know. We have two big wicks. The downside on the 15-minute SPY chart, so it seems like we're kind of exhausted selling for a little while. But if we don't get a strong push upwards at all over the next 15 minutes, I'd be continuing back down to the downside.
Good call on the 15-minute.
If you have long wicks, that means what? That means that we tried to sell even lower and lower and lower. And so there's buying pressure pushing it back up, and so the wick was like, hey, we tried to get to this point, but we couldn't, so we're probably running out of the ability to sell. So now the
Yep.
idea is that if the sellers are getting weak, then the bulls are potentially going to take over, and then we may start coming back up.
That channel I drew, 50% is 3.
Yeah, that was awesome, Trace. That's great. I love hearing this.
225. But yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, wicks are always wicks are always a breakout that fails.
Yep.
It tried to break out further, but it can't. So this is
Funny enough, that was a double
Yeah.
bottom on the 1 minute chart too. So
a double bottom on the 1 minute chart. Almost looks like this is like what they call a micro double bottom, but it's a 15-minute chart.
R1 hit T1 at 381.
See how that candle closes here in the next few minutes. That body can get above that red candle. That would be a kind of a bullish signal there.
It's holding the 8 period through that key pivot at 381.20. So extension takes that. Let's see. First pause 381.36 again, and then T2 is at 381.80. Third target extension and 50% retracement to 382. Extension to 382.25. Forecast that.
It's pretty damn good. Yeah, the wicks will tell you now. This wick is higher than this wick, which makes this technically a pullback. But we have to see what happens once this candle forms. See that body's getting smaller. You see that? So that body closed there. But let's see what happens here. Some recommend trading on a larger time frame for newer traders.
Yeah. And that 15-minute chart is very useful for exactly that.
Yep.
You can learn a lot about the candlestick to tell you on that 15-minute chart.
See, now if we look at this little formation right here, let's go back to the 1 minute. and then let's come back to the opening this morning. And then let's look at this formation right here. And the reason I'm doing that is because on the bottom right now, we're getting this kind of look. Wick. So let's go see if they're going to continue that with the SPY. Because that would show certainly a sign of reversal, which would make sense.
It's one fat looking rounding bottom.
Now the other side is, and on the other side of the coin, yet on the other hand, oh sorry, it's going my fiddle on the roof imitation.
Your CMB is starting to the trend here.
Look at that, I see it. It's coming back to that area where we talked about that it had to break through.
434 is the target for this one.
All right, so our 50% retracement on SPY from that high to where our low currently is 383.24, which is right around the 1 minute VWAP, and right below the 1 minute 200. So we could look for a 50% retracement here. Is that an inverse head and shoulders we're getting on one chart somewhere?
Ooh, I should have took that push up right there.
Chest on the 1 minute.
See that?
I still got the extension right there, 3D2 and then 3D225.
So it stopped there.
There's your target to 3D160, 66 it was. Just comparing to the 1013 1 minute candle. About 50% of it.
Now look on the 5 minute chart. 1 pullback, 2. This could be a pullback, so be careful.
It looks like it's pulling back on the 10-second MES chart.
Breaking over. If it rejects the 8 period here, it'll go right back to that 3D134 and then crash.
See,
Break on the shore.
yeah, this looks like a pullback to me. And pullbacks, after you, a lot of stuff is screen time, right? You know, it's just sitting in front of the screen and just watching this stuff, watching it and watching it, looking at charts, looking at charts, looking at charts, looking at charts. You know, at the end of the day, you got to go back and look at the end of the day. You go look at all the different time frames, you know, and yeah, look at that right there. And then you can start seeing things. You'll start seeing like what a pullback looks like. And you'll start saying, oh, that looks like that just might be a pullback. Possible double top on the 1 minute here on the CMMB. Still hasn't been able to break through that level right there.
That stopped. I'll be right back. I gotta let some coffee out.
You let that coffee go. Holding that coffee prisoner. And also go, you know, y'all hear me talk about, we're on YouTube, huh? Y'all hear me talk about the in-betweens a lot. Those spots where candles join together, you have big moves. Those in-betweens are important. As you can see, this one right here is a pivot on CMMB. I call them in-betweens. They're areas where candles join. It's usually after a big move. And those areas become points of interest for me. You can see we hit it once. We just hit it, but it's lower. So you have to watch it. If it comes back to it again, and like I said, it's got to break through this area strong. You want a big candle like this breaking through that. You don't want a wick and then it, you know, dipping its toe in the cold water and pulling it back. We had a Friday. We had a on the MES. What do we got time? We got time for this. Friday on the MES, we had a triple bottom. Wait, wrong time frame. There we go. We had a triple bottom. Let's see, hopefully I got no notes on it right now. Yeah. This area right here was a triple bottom. And this was Friday. This is Friday. Look, we went sideways most of the day. We hung out in that opening range area, and then we went back down. And now this is an ugly triple bottom. It might look better on a 15. Not really. But that triple bottom, think about this. If you're just trading candlestick patterns, like the classic patterns, you miss all this trading up here. Somebody says, well, that's not a lot of trading sideways. Yeah, well, you go on a 1 minute chart on MES, and that's a lot of stuff you can get right there. Well, what's the range on this bar right there? That's 10.5. There was money to be made on Friday. But let's say you only trade triple bottoms. Let's say that's something that you decide that's only all you're going to trade. Well, you got to wait all the way this time until about right here before you get in on a trade. You see that? There's a 5 minute chart. You'd have had to wait until 3:30 on Friday to make your entry because you saw the triple bottom form and it gave you the go ahead sign to go up.
How many points did that go all the way up?
Oh, it went pretty good. It was a good triple bottom. Went down from let's say 38.23, and it closed at you're looking at 40 something points for a triple bottom.
Even if you catch like a quarter or half.
All right, exactly. But here's the thing: how long does it take for you to recognize this is a triple bottom? How long in live trading are you going to wait to see this triple bottom? You've got to wait all day. You can't trade until 3:30. Now, that's not bad. Patience is a good thing. Patience is a great thing, and you need patience in trading. But that's a long time to wait for a formation that comes around, 5% of the time? 3% of the time? So even the practice trading a triple bottom, how many times can you practice it before you know how to trade it? So my point being is, these things are great to learn and they're wonderful. And we had those figures in there that Trace gave us. It actually makes more sense to me to trade a flag, to trade a channel, to look for double tops or double bottoms, because you're going to see those all day long. I mean, this is a double bottom technically. So is this right here. And so you can plan trade. You can still, I'm not saying don't trade candlestick patterns, learn them. But it's certainly a lot quicker. And for me, for what I want to learn, it's a lot quicker to learn the flag patterns. And see, I got flags right here. I got flags all the way up. This flag's all the way up. Got flags down. So if you can learn the flags, I call them the wax on and wax off. Bull flags are wax on. Bear flags are wax off. If you can learn flag patterns, man, you've got a heck of a lot that you've already grabbed. Because look at this. You're going to have a push up and you're going to have a pullback. That's a bull flag, right? Downward, we're going to have a push down and we're going to have a pullback. So you're going to have a push and a pullback. And then I talk about 3 touches. You start looking, sometimes you got to stretch your stuff out. Sometimes adults like to wear stretchy pants. So sometimes you got to stretch your stuff out to see those touches. This one's above, this is a high, but you've got 3 touches in there. Is that a 5 minute? Yeah.
I've learned to see those pullbacks, like the up and down, as soon as it's going to pull back and break out.
Yep. And then
I would size up on most of those positions and like double.
Is it working?
It is working. I practice.
Yeah. Good. That's good. And the thing is, it's like, now you got to do it in live, right? You got to find it live and trust yourself on it. This one right here, this set, let's see, where are my studies? Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it on here. And everybody's on YouTube listening too, so y'all going to get a little stuff here. So we get this triple bottom, right? And I know it doesn't look like a real triple bottom, but if you see them enough, you can see this was your high point, and then you draw the line from here to this point over there. Yeah, and that would have been actually your get in spot right there. And then since we don't have a flat area over here, I just take an area and I just draw it like that. And that gives me, yeah, but you say that's got more than one or two hits on the bottom. It does. It's an ugly triple bottom in the sense that it doesn't look like the triple bottom on my chart from where I have, let me go get my triple bottom. Here it is. Let's see, copy image. I'm going to put it in chat so you can see. This is the triple bottom off of the wallpaper on Bullish Bears. And this triple bottom, you can see my Mac. It sits on my Mac right, and it's right above my laptop monitor. So I see it all the freaking time. That's how I was able to recognize this triple bottom. It's like, I always see it. It's not something I necessarily look for. Yeah, the wallpaper is great. But here we have that triple bottom, and it doesn't look anything like what I just posted in chat. And I'll give you all a little taste on YouTube of my chat. There's my triple bottom right there. This is from our wallpaper from Bullish Bears. If you join Bullish Bears, you get this cool wallpaper. And then there's the triple bottom again. So, you could have traded this thing. Now the cool thing is, when we're talking about pullbacks, when we have these flags like this, and I have a video I'm working on, I actually have all this stuff written down. But when we're talking about flags, you get this push up and you get the pullback. Now all these lines mean something, right? It's the 8, the 15, 20. My red line is VWAP. This line here is my 200. But Jeremy's always teaching us about the 8, and that's why I went back to my 8. The cool thing about a pullback is if you can get one off the moving average, that's freaking awesome. And there's several strategies to get in. You can get in here. You can get in here. You can go market, which gets you in about the middle. You can there's several different ways to get in. You could have got in about this, use this candle right here as your you say I'm going to get in by my entry's right on the top of that candle right there. Boom. So there's several ways to enter, and we'll go over more of that because there are several strategies that you can trade with. And I have some that I trade with, and I'm in the process of making those videos right now. And I want to make sure that when I make them, I'm scripting myself. So everything in the video I've written down, it's well thought through, so that I can teach on that. But anyhow, this was a great day with that triple bottom, and it'd been a great play. But you'd have missed so much. You'd have missed so much waiting. So that's why it's great to have multiple strategies. I'm going to go back to it now. We're still sitting in that range right now. And Diamond J. I told you were Diamond J.
Methodically marked out the range we expected today. That is incredible. And listen, there are more things that, there's so much to learn, everybody, and it's not hard. It's just time consuming to put it down in thoughts, but y'all stick with us because I tell you what, we're putting our thoughts down. And when you can start writing down your strategies and in a detail so that it can be replicated, then that's when you got a good strategy. That's why I know that strategies we have are good, because I can put those down in writing and they can be replicated. All right, so we're coming back to that 50% retracement. Is that what we're doing right now? Oh, it's still got a ways to get there, but this is looking less like a pullback right now.
So it looks like we've got a pretty strong, um, well, in the 1 minute, we've got a pretty strong bullish move happening here.
Remember asking a question in the chat there. Let's see here. Try to understand it. Can I find the same indicator that live stream and trading view?
You should be able to. I think TradingView has these same indicators.
I'm pretty sure.
It's Woody's will look different, slightly different, but it'll have the same parameters. It might not look as I call this cartoonish. It might not look as cartoonish as this, but it's in there because I think James used to use TradingView.
Yeah, it looks a little weird. But
382.40 pivot again.
yeah, imagine that.
Imagine that.
You're doing all the best. Thank you again.
Hey, you're very welcome. Have a great day, Ricardo.
I gotta get going as well.
Trace.
Stopped out my position sadly at a 10% gain instead of what
Aw.
30% gain, but I have to walk away, so I have to move my stop up so I didn't lose the money.
There you go.
All right, well, see you guys in an hour or so, unless you guys bail.
Hey, and thank you again for that information. That was freaking awesome.
No problem, man. Like I'm really eager to start putting to work all the stuff that I did research on over the weekend because I feel like it's really gonna level up my consistency. Lately, I've been sort of like looking for patterns as I see them emerge, then I make a play. But now I'm looking at other things that are gonna kind of adjust that play, and then also give me the ability to look longer term, which means I can potentially, if I'm on the selling side or the buying side, understand. If it's obviously shares doesn't really matter, but if it's the option side, like what is my potential to actually walk away from this with a really good return versus like me just hoping that I did something right in the next 10 minutes. There are some people out there that literally trade only 7 minute time frames and then they're out of the trade that's not working out, but that's not me. I tend to make too much mistakes.
Did you say 7 minute time frame?
Yeah, there's a dude that I was listening to that literally only traded Forex, and he only traded 3 different pairs, and literally he only trades within a 7 minute window. If he didn't make the move that he wanted in the 7 minute window, he cuts his loss and he gains his tiny profit, and then he walks away for the next setup.
Wow. Okay.
And the dude, I think it was like a guy, and he literally went from starting trading Forex with like only $2,000 to being like a millionaire in like 5 or 6 years. It's just nuts. Like I've just been listening to these strategies and I'm like, wow. You can definitely, if you are consistent with the rules that you're placing and you are understanding the probabilities and your risk management is literally on point, you can seriously just rapidly grow your wealth. If you're able to be there. I mean, he literally watched the charts all day long, every day. Like, it was his job. And he managed to pull it off, but, you know, if there's any inconsistency, you end up eating losses where you shouldn't, or you're potentially cutting gains before you should, if you're not following your rules. The rules are so important.
So important. Very good. Preach. Preach. That's good stuff.
Push Tesla down a little further. 9 cents. Come on.
It's almost there.
I'm gonna get that share, Jeremy. I'm gonna get it. Come on.
Your order's sitting there. It's on the book.
Yeah,
Just wait it.
That better fill. Don't tell me you didn't fill. It didn't fill. Are you kidding me? All right, Jeremy,
wow.
kick it a little bit more. Draw a line quick.
I'm shorter.
What's the line I'm looking for? There you go. 109.34. There, I drew a line for you. Respect. Respect my authority. Look at Ricardo.
You won't have to. It's going to go. Give it a second.
That's beautiful.
There you go.
If it hits that 109.34. All right, let's see now.
Mark your shares, as Buffett would call it.
That's right. I know. I mean, it's legit truth. Like things that you're really, really highly interested in.
Mm.
You're like, hey, it's looking really good at these levels, but I know it could go further. Then you just put that little starter share in there, and you just go, whatever, man. And then if you want to play options and like do leverage off of that, you at least know kind of the range that you moved from where you were really interested in.
Right. Gives you a much easier way to keep track of it.
Yes, yes.
For the longest time, I did that with literally did that with like keep a share of Spy in here, a share of Q. I haven't done a share. Actually, I had done shares of Tesla before, but wasn't quite able to get under them. But just kind of keeping a market share does help quite a bit with things.
We're back up to the top of this move.
Where it's harder and harder and harder for Tesla to get pushed down further and further. Like I would say, if it goes into the 90s, I'm dumping tons of money on that stock because unless their sales volumes drops off of a cliff this next year, they are literally at the point where their sales volumes has ramped up to the point where they're selling over 1 million cars a year. If even 25 to 30% of those people are doing FSD or insurance, they're bringing in close to 20 to 30 billion dollars a year just off of selling those packages, that it makes up for the volume of sales they had 2 years ago. So they could literally just almost stop selling cars and just be a profit machine. And if they keep selling cars, then the scaling is just nuts. I mean, they really do have a very close to tech-like revenue stream, which is insane. And the other car companies have yet to build that out, but they will. But it's going to be a decade down the road, probably.
Yeah. And I'm kind of like, I know Elon in the past has said like he's against following through with hydrogen cell cars and stuff like that. But he has never said he's against possibly producing a hybrid in the future. And I kind of wonder about that. Because
Well, if his battery systems are not going to work in cold climates, you have to have a hydrogen cell thing with a little warmer on it. Like
something, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't explode, I think that's what they're trying to figure out, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think Toyota is leading that, right? Is it Toyota or Honda? One of those two car companies is like sold on hydrogen. They're pushing it hard.
I think it wasn't Ford, was it?
Right. Toyota was into that on one end of it, and Honda was in on it. But then Nissan is also kind of trying. So it's kind of weird. It's going to be a competitive market either way for the hydrogen cell, and then there's two different types of hydrogen. There's even an internal combustion.
We're going to go down more. I think it's going to resume and go back down.
What I would like to see is, so people made hydrogen fuel cells like as a little stopgap where they're blowing.
Pull back on the 5 minute right there.
Using electrolysis, where they had like water pumping through some sort of pump, and then there was these steel plates that were like, bound together, and then that would produce the hydrogen. But then they found out that creates like a heavy carcinogenic waste that people were just dumping down drains because they're like, oh, it's just water. You can just pour it down. No, it's not water. You're pouring chromium down the freaking drains. It's highly toxic. But if they can come up with some solution where you can process that waste or use it for something, then maybe the electrolysis side isn't going to be so bad, and maybe that will become kind of a thing. But until then, I don't know. And you also have to have safety procedures, so like if potentially too much hydrogen gas into your combustion engine and it blows back, you need to have something that disconnects the hydrogen so you don't blow up.
See the in-between right there?
Some sort of check valve that can handle the pressure.
Right.
There it goes.
Built one of those. Oh, go down! We're tumbling. I'm glad I got out of my spread.
It hit that. It hit that 109.34. Just so you know, it did respect my authority. So you're welcome. All right. So we had those three touches again. This was a pullback. As you can see, we're breaking back down. So this was on the 5 minute chart. Hey, I love hearing your excitement, Trace. Thanks again for everything.
Hey guys, I don't know if anyone's noticing, CMBB looks like it might be breaking through the, oh no, it's retracing. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I'm not ignoring you. I'm watching. I'm keeping an eye on it. All right.
Ignoring myself.
Always watching.
Always watching. All right, let's see now. We've slammed into some areas here. I don't have the drawings on this one. Let's see if I can get the drawing. That's clean. Who am I over there? Daily 5. There's just some chart nasty for you. I had to put some levels on. I got it on another side. I was like, well, which one is that? Let's go get today's drawings.
Hands in my lap today. Reach out and type when I need to. I really overdid it at the gym yesterday.
Oh, what'd you do? You did forearm exercises? Yeah, those forearms will kill you at the end. You got to do those at the end.
Yeah, I did a lot of rowing machine stuff. Overhead back. Did some overhead pull downs, lat pull downs.
It's all that food you ate.
Yeah. The new gym that we're going to has, it's kind of like a treadmill, but it's a climbing wall. So it's constantly rolling over. And I climb like a Spider-Man. So I climbed on that thing for
I bet you do. Y'all listening to what he's telling you here? Everybody trying to keep up with you trading. It's like, you can't do it. Not yet.
my warm-up is I'll go 3.5 miles an hour for 3 miles at a 20% grade on the treadmill. And I don't lean on the rails, but I do it like freestanding. Walking on the treadmill. And that's my warm-up. I'll do that for like an hour. I'll run and do all the other stuff. So like my legs are already burning by the time I get to climbing wall. So most of the stuff I did on the climbing wall was arms. So it was pretty intense workout. Like feeling the pain. So I can't lift my hand.
Hang on one second. Hey, Victoria, you listening?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you watching your CMMB?
And so, yeah.
It's one thing I'm noticing it is trying to wicken that area. This green candle would be the one that I would hope would push through strongly. We're going to see if we get that. If not, then it could just range in this area for a little bit.
My plan is, if it breaks through, I'm going to wait for it to fall back and retest that new support level. and then I,
Now that would be a good thing to do. There's another strategy you can do. You see, it did break through, but you got to wait. See, that's why I say you got to wait. Another thing that could happen is if it does break through, as we break over here, if it does break through like it does, you can get on a pullback of a flag. Excuse me, y'all.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Or if it retests that level, then get in.
Right. Sorry, I had a little distraction in the back. We gapped down on the SPY.
380. Here we come. Break 380 and it's game on for 375.
All right, so we're back down to this area here, which is about halfway through this shadow box I drew. The reason I drew this shadow box is because I saw this as the first leg. I might have been wrong on that. This whole thing might be the first leg. Actually, I did draw that whole thing as the first leg. Never mind. Never mind. I remember when I did it. I did it in 1 minute. Duh. Look at that.
Break 380, 378 is the target.
Time is 11:14. Hey, YouTube, we're going to get off of YouTube right now. Come join us at Bullish Bears. And yeah, we did. We gapped, bro. What the flying freaking whatever all those F's are. What the and we hit that level. Where am I? Which one is this now? I'll show y'all in just a second. MES. All right. So we broke through this level here. This is what I got for today in this range. I had this gap right here, which was a volume profile gap on the 2-hour chart. I do like the 2-hour volume profile. And I went and found my gaps. This was the top, and it hit the bottom right here. This is a gap. I also got this one down here because this was the next gap. Not telling you it's going to go to 38.15. I'm just showing you that for educational purposes. So All right, YouTube. We'll see you later. Y'all come see us.